I'm at the headquarters of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, where extra agents have been called in to investigate a rash of police incidents. I'm at the Atlanta Federal Courthouse, where I watched a man walk out free after 11 months in jail for a crime he says he did not commit. Memorial ribbons adorn Courthouse Square here in Mount Vernon, Georgia. We have video that sheds light on how the sheriff, who used to work right over there, was killed. Victims in a series of North Side burglaries include 3 law enforcement officials. One of them had this badge stolen along with another one that's still missing. The CDC released a statistic that Black children are 3 times more likely to drown. One local program is working to close that gap. Victims in a series of North Side burglaries include 3 law enforcement officials. One of them had this badge stolen along with another one that's still missing.
Having that personal space violated by somebody, and you really feel helpless.
Chamblee Police Detective Ray Ice is one of 2 other law enforcement officials who played a different role in this case. All 3 officials are victims.
I can actually honestly tell people, I know exactly what you're going through.
Along with his 2 badges, Detective Ice had several important items stolen.
They took my city-issued gun.
Raheem R. Madyan is currently charged for the burglaries. Police say the arrest occurred after one resident at Detective Ice's apartment complex saw him get into his red BMW while carrying a TV.
You run the tag, it comes up on your computer, and the individual defendant's photograph popped up, and the witness talking to the cop in the parking lot goes, "That's him right there."
Sergeant Ron Moman says that the burglaries were not targeted toward law enforcement officials.
Just happened to, pick the wrong house.
Brookhaven Police Officer Carlos Nino says the Madyan is currently being charged for 5 burglaries.
It's very significant to us because just the frequency and amount of incidents.
Madyan's lawyer says he will plead not guilty. In Sandy Springs, Mary Grace Shaw, Channel 2 Action News. The CDC released a statistic that Black children are 3 times more likely to drown. One local program is working to close that gap. Melissa Wilburn with DeKalb Aquatics Tiger Swim School partnered with the USA Swimming Foundation to save lives by teaching children, especially Black and Latino, how to swim. Last week, 9-year-old Jarikus Wyatt drowned at an apartment swimming pool in East Point just 1 day before his 10th birthday.
Every time I turn on the news and I see a kid drowning, I cringe because it's absolutely preventable.
Wilburn says that one of the main reasons children do not learn how to swim is because of cost.
Swimming is a very expensive sport.
The program works to make sure that no kid is ever denied swimming lessons because of their financial status.
We do some lessons where we have kids that can't pay at all the way up to kids that pay for private lessons.
Katrina Vinham enrolled her daughter Jamie into one of Wilburn's swim classes so that Jamie would feel comfortable around pools.
When you know how to behave in water and you know how to swim, it can prevent a lot of issues.
There you go.
In just 5 lessons, Jamie has learned how to swim and tread water confidently.
I didn't have that much confidence as I have now.
If you would like to help DeKalb Aquatics with a donation, you can visit daqswim.com. In Stone Mountain, Mary Grace Shaw, Channel 2 Action News.
Live, local, late breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News. Coverage you can count on.
Good evening, I'm Lacey Lee.
And I'm Mary Grace Shaw. Atlanta police say they are increasing patrols in Midtown after a recent rise in armed robberies. Channel 2 intern Jackie Prager spoke to one victim who says he wants to warn others. Atlanta police say they will continue to increase patrols in the late evening and early morning. A Delta pilot diverted an Atlanta-bound flight due to a smoke scare. A Channel 2 Action News reporter was on the flight from New York City that made an unscheduled stop in Philadelphia last night. Another woman on board told us many passengers thought the plane smelled like jet fuel. Delta put the passengers on another plane that took them here to Atlanta. Some Pine Lake residents are pushing to change the name of a street because of a possible connection to a Confederate general. Community activists in the tiny DeKalb County city have a petition to drop one R from Forest Road. Some neighbors believe the street might have been named after Confederate General Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Whether we know or not that it was named after General Forrest, Forrest with 2 R's was a major Ku Klux Klan leader.
Residents of a senior living facility have air conditioning after weeks of sleeping in the summer heat. What it took to get the system repaired. I'm in Zone 500 of the Fulton County Jail in the highest security unit, where they found 6 phones and 3 homemade knives.
Well, this bag is contraband cell phones, about half dozen, yeah.
Colonel Mark Adger believes that the inmates were using the phones to contact criminals out on the street and to possibly help their cases in court.
And they could be intimidating witnesses.
Colonel Adger says inmates made these knives from metal light fixtures.
This is a jail-made shank or knife.
When officers found this staff meal along with other contraband, it led Colonel Adger to believe that it may actually be staff members who were helping bring these items to the inmates.
It's scary, and that tells us that we have staff that have been corrupted.
The jail has technology specifically targeted towards finding phones. However, the cell phones and other contraband were found in one zone during a shakedown that took place in all 12 zones.
So you got to lay down on your back and actually reach and feel along the groove in the bed.
Not knowing exactly what is behind each cell has made officers like James Getting be more cautious.
Oh, it makes your heart race. And it reminds you to be careful when you're walking in there, because none of them are your friends.
Colonel Adger says an internal investigation is underway. Mary Grace Shaw, Channel 2 Action News. Agent Rogers says the woman who was in the truck faces aggravated assault charges in Mount Vernon, in Gwinnett County, in Buckhead, in Atlanta. In Decatur, Mary Grace Shaw, Channel 2 Action News.